Okay, I think I got it. What's up, everyone? Question mark. Who's that? Oh.
Drop that. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah.
Hey everyone, my name is Olympia Oduda and I'm a burlesque performer in Orlando, Florida. I'm super excited. I can't wait to get started. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So a little bit about me. I started my burlesque career, I want to say in 2022. What inspired me to start burlesque? It's kind of cheesy, but I saw the Les Vixens perform. If you guys know the Les Vixens, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They are just a powerhouse of individuals and they are so inspiring. So getting to see a show of them live was top tier. Oh my goodness, it was so good. And I remember telling Ivy, I was like, listen, I want to do what you're doing. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I have no experience. I don't know what I'm doing. So we're just gonna find out. We're just gonna find out how it goes. I ended up connecting with a performer named Misty Rose. If you guys do not know Misty Rose, oh my gosh. Not only is she a sweetheart, but like her power. Nala. Don't mind my two dogs. I've got two dogs, you know, and they sniff and lick everything. Misty Rose is literally a powerhouse. She actually motivated me to go and do an amateur contest that Corset and Cuties has, I think annually. I was like, okay, sure. And it's kind of funny because I have a dance background, so like I am a dancer and I've danced professionally, I've danced competitively. So in my head I was like, oh yeah, burlesque is just dancing. Ciao. I was bamboozled. Making sure that like you have individuality, creativity, making sure that you have something that grabs the crowd to constantly want to see you and to know who you are. That is a superpower. Genuine superpower. Went to Corset and Cuties, no experience. I ended up getting second place, which was very powerful. I felt cool, not gonna lie. I then ended up doing a show with Miss Brown's Colors of Burlesque, which is how I got scouted out by Lashes Lane. She actually runs a Bad Witch burlesque troupe out here, a burlesque troupe. And they are based around performing burlesque to like heavy metal, alternative, very like witchy, dark, like your emo alternative vibe. And the little girl in me, the little middle school Olympia, was thriving because I was like, holy, I could dance to Metallica and get tipped. That's, ooh, I was eating it up. But she pulled me aside after the show and she was like, I want you in my troupe. I thought she was kidding. I was like, ha, so funny, so funny. Tell me why the next day she DM'd me and she was like, so here's this. She's like, I really meant it. I was like, oh. And that's how burlesque just kicked off for me. I really do want to get into the get to know me of this video. So first question is, when did you start doing burlesque? I did start in 2022. I didn't go to any like school about it. I didn't learn about it. I came from Arizona. So when I left Arizona, I was 20. So I didn't get a chance to really experience like all the events that were 21 up that had burlesque. My family never spoke about it. I just didn't know what it was until I actually got to Florida. It just took a lot of learning. I took a lot of criticism, good and bad feedback. I was watching a lot of videos. I am very crafty. I'm a little granny. I like to crochet, I like to sew. So that kind of like was in my back pocket already. So the costuming like was a lot easier for me to do. It just came naturally. So I was able to just learn from people and like watch and see like, okay, they did this, or oh, they made this, or how did they do this on a budget, like stuff like that. Second question is, how/where do you find costuming inspiration, act ideas, and what songs might you use? Ooh. So I don't know if you guys know, but the name Olympia Oduda, I picked it for a reason. So my allergies. With Olympia Oduda, my first name was actually Ominous Oduda. So I was known as Ominous Oduda for maybe like a few months, and then I decided to change it. So Oduda is actually the name of a black goddess. It means the black one or the dark one. So someone who entails like a dark entity, someone who has a powerful force that's sometimes unknown. That is the name Oduda because it entails with the goddess. Me personally, ominous was giving like a like it wasn't hitting for me. Like I wanted a name that gave like royalty, that gave power and grace at the same time, but also had the idea of being so beautiful and so like when you would see it, it was like, oh my gosh. And the way that I thought about that were the gods and goddesses. So our idea of Olympus, I'm just like, it's probably this magical place in the clouds that is just so beautiful and bright and just so like amazing. Like it leaves you breathless. So when I was thinking of Olympus, I was like, what if I do Olympia? Like to kind of have that Olympus like root word, but Olympia Oduda just flowed so well because it was like Olympia, the house of gods, this magical, beautiful, like peaceful place that just had you dying to get into it with a goddess name after it. And like with my ethnicity, I'm black and Puerto Rican, so a lot of my costuming comes from that. I'm very deep in my culture, so I want my costumes to showcase that because that adds to my individuality and creativity. So the name Olympia Oduda kind of like build my like costuming and just kind of like what I do with my burlesque acts. It's very much tailored to like people knowing like, oh, that's Olympia. Like if I'm wearing this, they're like, oh, that's Olympia. Or if they like see my name on a poster or something like that, they know what I'm coming with because like my costumes always show that powerful side. I love a lot of songs that have heavy beats or like a lot of notes that I can hit on that are either hidden or very obvious. A lot of good songs I like doing is Chain Smoking by Jacob Banks. Kind of like a sultry, I'ma lure you in, but I'ma leave you wanting a lot more. Also, Dorothy has been on my my high list right now because her voice, it gives me like a Christina Aguilera vibe, but also she is more towards like the grungy, like dark, like alternative side, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna just say that. The next question is, how did you start dancing and why did you pursue burlesque as your main outlet? I've been dancing since I was 7. When I was 7, I started dancing salsa. So my grandmother's Puerto Rican and I was raised by my grandma. So a lot of the times I would go to salsa classes, but that's when I started like dancing. And then when I was in high school, I went ahead and started doing hip hop, like Afro based. I did a lot of whacking and I got introduced to Vogue around that time as well. So I trained with voguing and all those other styles for a very long time. When I got into college, I took a little break from dancing, but then I ended up getting a job as an educational specialist who used a dance crew as a way to spread kindness into the world. We mostly did our shows with like kids or elementary schools. So like we would use dance and spoken word as a way to go ahead and, you know, showcase how to be kind, like to yourself and to the environment, which was super cool. I started doing dancing competitively. So I danced with a studio in Mesa, Arizona. And we did events like World of Dance. We did HHI, which is like Hip Hop International. Best way I can think about it is like it's the varsity of cheer. Like when you know everyone goes to Disney World and like does the big competition. It's like that, but for hip hop. So I did that, which was really fun. When I was deciding to move to Florida, I took a little break so I could save money. I was doubling down on work. And when I finally came out here, that's when I started looking at burlesque because like my friend was always talking about it. And I also was joining a crew called Motive. So they're stationed out in Longwood, Florida. So I was danced with them for a little bit and trying to like keep my, you know, my body used to dancing. So that doing burlesque was kind of like a mix of everything. Like I was able to take the styles I liked, maybe take the styles that were difficult and mash them into like this new like style that like everyone was gonna love, you know, even if they didn't understand it. So it was just so cool. They said, would you throw it back for a Scooby snack? I throw it back for free sometimes, like in the club when I'm not getting anything, or if I'm with my girlfriends. I would definitely throw it back for a Scooby snack. Any books or shows that you draw inspo from for Olympia? I would definitely say Lore Olympus. So I think that book entirely like helps me gather up the powerfulness. Like, I'm very much stage demanding. Like, I'm very big on all eyes on me, especially when it's my time. I'm like, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make sure I have your attention. Another question that I had was, where do you get your look from? I think the costuming, I've really like expressed why I do it. I love the rhinestones because it just adds a little sparkle like when I move. I've gotten used to just like making these cool designs based on my acts, like with rhinestones. I have fun with it. Like, I try to make sure I stand out. As far as my hair, this style has become my staple piece. It's always a ponytail braid with a braid like kind of bun or a little bang, as no matter what you're wearing or where you are, someone is gonna know you. Like, they're gonna know you. So I love it. That concludes the end of this video. I want to give you guys so much thanks and love and gratitude for even tuning in. Thank you so much again. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to hit that bell for all the notifications. Thank you. Bye.